The relationship my mother and I have has gotten better within the last 2 years, but I'm 33 years old, so we have some history. So I remembered I had this shirt, and with everything that has happened with my life over the last 6 months, I want to talk about how important sisterhood is. Growing up, my granddad made a point to tell me that women could not be trusted. I was constantly around boys. I felt the most comfortable around them. Even though it's an outdated term, I was a tomboy. I consistently ran in the football spaces, the basketball spaces, the kickball spaces. I had no problem with getting my clothes dirty, getting my knees scraped up. I just felt more comfortable in those spaces. And a lot of the girlfriends I had back then didn't really know what to do with me, and I didn't know what to do with them because I felt more comfortable around boys. And not really knowing now what that looks like, and definitely not having the language for it, I took that to think that, okay, I'm not like the other girls, which is a really dense way of thinking, as well as it plays right into patriarchy. It plays right into misogyny and misogynoir. And I didn't know back then how it was affecting me, but it folded into the rest of my life growing up, where I had no real redeeming or quality female friendships. The ones I did have were non-reciprocal. I gave because that's what I knew to do, but because I didn't perform in ways, I was kind of looked at as the sad little puppy, the little girl, the friend over there, and it was a lot to take from me. And then I began to realize that also folded into my male friendships. So then I had to take a look at myself and go, what am I doing to bring this about? What am I doing to continue this pattern that is not healthy for me? So the question became, where do I go from here? What does friendship look like for me? And I did not know what friendship, specifically women-filled friendship, I did not know what that looked like until my mom died. The wild thing is, I had a video that I was going to post. I actually started the process of it when my mom came to visit me here in Maryland. I'm originally from Virginia, and I moved up here going on 3 years ago. And that was my first time having my mom in my home. My mom and I had a really complicated relationship, and having her here drew a line, and it helped me to begin to define what the generational curses and the generational thought processes were and how to get rid of them, because they were not conducive to my healing, her healing, anyone's ability to move forward. They needed to go. She didn't know what I was doing, but I was aware of what was happening. And she came up for 2 weeks in November 2020. And by December 16th, she was gone. I'm grateful for the time that we did have up here, because we did break a lot of curses. We did shatter a lot of false expectations placed on her, and especially placed on me. So we did the work. Didn't know we were doing it together. She didn't, at least. But again, I did. So finding out about her passing was such a hit to my soul. But I know it would have been so much worse had we not had that time in November. So I've been ostracized from a good chunk of my family because I don't tend to run into circles or do the things that many in my family do. And because of that, it's viewed that I think I'm better, or I don't want to hang out with the people. I don't want to hang out with the family. I somehow believe that I am set apart. And in a lot of ways, yeah. Yeah, I am. And I'm not going to run from that anymore. I'm not going to hide from that. Do I think I'm better than you? No. But I know I'm better than this. And this dynamic is one that I will not pass on to my daughter. And I will not continue to base my life and my livelihood on this thing that is toxic, that is harmful, and has continued to be harmful. We can't continue to pass on trauma as tradition, and I'm not going to do that. So I'm estranged from a good chunk of my family. So when my mom died, there was a lot of fingers in the way that caused even more division between the family members that I thought I had left. Grateful that there are still family members that I am in communication with, but it's literally a handful versus the amount of people that are actually in my family. When she passed, a good chunk of my family refused to be there for me because of rumors and things that were being said about me when I wasn't even in the room, or never uttered those words, but because of the messenger, the message was received, regardless of how nonsensical it was. So in that moment, I really discovered what friendship was. I did not know love can be without bounds, without expectations, and not unconditional. We love to talk about unconditional love, but we tend to parallel it with struggle love. You have to love this person no matter what. And in a lot of ways, it creates space for that person to do really harmful things. Again, under the guise of unconditional love. I have learned that my love has conditions, and I've learned that other people's love have conditions. And to honor what that looks like for every single person. And that's what I've learned since December 17th, 2020, up to now, July 4th. And the way these women in particular showed up for me, I will never be able to fully put into words. It's an immense, encompassing feeling to be loved out loud, to be loved without strings attached, without the expectation that you're going to do something for me in return. I've never known that type of love, romantically or platonically. Never knew that type of love until after my mom died. So what does that mean for friendship? Friendship should be put in the same canon as romantic partnership because it matters just as much. It hurts just as much when those friendships end. It hurts when betrayal is enacted. It's just as impactful. And I wish and want us to put more energy into those spaces, especially women friendships. If you're someone like me that grew up being told that women are untrustworthy, that you can't be friends with them, but that they're catty, that they're going to find a way to steal something from you, they're going to steal your man, they're going to do all these things. It was me listening to an adult, a man, who had his own issues and projected those onto me. And because, again, this was an adult, I took what they said as law. So I didn't seek out women friendships and girl friendships when I was a kid. And for a long time, I prided myself on not having a lot of girlfriends. Now, as I've grown to understand just how ugly that thought process is, I can't imagine my life without my women friendships. Granted, there are moments when people gon' people and they're going to show their ass regardless of gender, regardless of sex. They're going to show up and be dicks. So it's understandable why some people are like, no, I don't want nothing to do with this. I've been burned, I've been hurt, it's understandable. I'm never going to tell somebody that, oh, that doesn't matter, you need to move on and get over it. No, it hurts. It's understandable. I've had women friendships crumble. The expectation on me was to always be there regardless of what I had the ability to give in that moment. And it was just take. Do I count that as this is what all women friendships are? No, because I've known the exact opposite in women friendships. I just take that as people being terrible, people being awful because they had the opportunity to. But sisterhood for me, in whatever capacity that takes, I wouldn't trade it for anything. And I don't view the women friendships I've had solely through the lens of the ones that did not work out. I view them from the standard that has been presented to me now. And if you cannot show up for me in those spaces how they have, there's no way that you can handle the amount of love and support that I am willing to give. And that's how I frame my friendships, specifically my women friendships. And sisterhood is a beautiful thing. I truly believe I would not have been able to survive without these friendships. There's no way I would be sitting here without them. So I wanted to give a note on why sisterhood matters so much to me, why it takes on a completely different framing than it used to, and I'm looking forward to what sisterhood looks like going into my future, how I can also show up for the women in my life, how I can show up for them, and how gorgeous of a way to exist with people who love you without bounds. I pray that for everyone that is watching this. Thank you for tuning into this video. I will be doing more videos more often, but this was one that was really important and laid on my heart, and I wanted to share this because in this time, and especially after 2020, we need to hold on to our friendships and honor our friendships as they are, and not solely for what we want them to be, and not give anything in return. It needs to be reciprocal, and only we and that friend, those friends, can walk that path to figure out what that means for each of us. So I wish you a good day. I ask that you like and subscribe as I am on the journey of building my channel. And if you are someone who is interested in reworking and honoring your inner life, this is the channel for you. So until next time, see you later.